The walls. The single most expensive thing in Clash, yet now they barely do anything. What used to decide wins and losses is now just decoration. What if I told you a single wall breaker fail could turn an easy 3-star attack into a 1-star? Before 2020, that's exactly how Clash worked. Today, the most expensive upgrades in the game are almost useless. Let's see why, and how some updates made walls more useless. Back in the days when Queen Charges, Go Witches, and Suicide Heroes were popular, one failed wall breaker could ruin your whole attack that you end up in a 0 or 1-star. Troops would get stuck outside the base, circling trash buildings, while defences shredded them. Check out the World Championship attacks before 2020. Walls decided victories. Then came super wall breakers. A giant version of a normal wall breaker, tanky bigger bomb, could take several hits and still drop his massive bomb, unlike the normal wall breaker, who got one-shot by a cannon. At first it felt balanced, opening a few layers of walls, giving attackers some speed, but walls in the core and back of the base still punished you. Although super wall breakers made it easier to get that 1 or 2 stars, getting 3 stars was still a challenge. Walls didn't matter much at the entry points, but were still dangerous in the back end. Then everything changed when the Root Riders came. Think of her like a giant and a wall wrecker combined, moving from defence to defence, clearing every wall as she goes. By the end of an attack, half the walls in the base are gone. Instead of taking 3 units like giants, wall breakers, and jump spells, Root Riders do it all with far better value. Air attacks and siege machines had already made walls less important, but Root Riders finished the job. Nothing could stop her. No choke points, no smart compartments. She moved, smashed, tanked, and tripled. The back end is where defences matter most because troops get stuck on walls taking heavy fire. But Root Riders remove that choke entirely. That's how walls became useless anywhere in the base. But base builders didn't lose hope. They evolved. The base designs tried to fight back by making compartments open, which confused the troop AI and made troops walk in weird paths. It helped a little, but walls still mostly didn't matter because the troops were just too powerful. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, the hero equipment arrived, especially the King's Earthquake boots. You push the king into the centre of the base, pop his ability, and watch the entire core collapse instantly. All those walls costing billions of loot, destroyed in seconds. The irony is, walls cost an insane amount of loot, more than what you can think of. At Town Hall 17, you spend 2.6 billion. That's 8 zeros after 26. And in most town halls you spend more than half of all loot just on walls, yet they barely matter in defence. Just pause the video and check this table. So if we are spending this much loot, what can be done to make walls useful? Of course the Root Riders and the equipment can't be removed, but what if walls could fight back? Maybe walls could have special wall abilities, like broken walls deal full damage or slow troops. More broken walls mean more damage. Or having earthquake-resistant walls, extra tough walls that don't get crumbled easily. Or maybe the destroyed walls leave rubble that blocks troops for a short time, unless the explosion from bombs or clear the way. Instead of just gaining HP at each level, if walls could do something additionally, like how the builder huts repair and do damage, that would add more fun to the game, and spending millions on walls will feel valuable. If you have a better idea about how walls can be fixed, drop them in the comment below. Supercell watches everything, and if it's clever, your idea might actually make it into the game. We live in a world where walls cost billions of gold or elixir, but barely stop anything. Maybe it's time they do something to fix that. For more such short and interesting breakdowns about Clash of Clans, stick around, hit like and subscribe and check out more videos on the channel.